In-depth revealed Rifle plane weapons, no secrets to hide. The Das Alt Rifle literally means gust of wind, and burst of fire is a French twin-engine, canard delta wing, multi-role fighter aircraft designed and built by Das Alt Aviation. Equipped with a wide range of weapons, the Rifle is intended to perform air supremacy, interdiction, aerial reconnaissance, ground support, in-depth strike, anti-ship strike, and nuclear deterrence missions. The Rifle is referred to as an omni-role aircraft by Das Alt. The Rifle is manufactured almost entirely in France. Different elements are produced in numerous factories across the country, and final assembly takes place near Bordeaux, Marignac Airport. For example, the flight control surfaces are fabricated in Haute-Savoie, the wings and avionics in Gironde, the center fuselage in Val d'Oise, and the engines in Essen. Roughly 50% of the Rifle is produced by Das Alt and the other half divided between two major partners, Thales and Safran, who rely on a network of 500 subcontractors. Altogether, the program employs 7,000 workers. To design the Rifle, in 1981 Das Alt developed a revolutionary computer software suite called CATIA. Using CATIA, all engineers can work together and build, configure, and test everything before the real production starts. With the help of CATIA, plane is virtually designed on the nearest tenth of a millimeter. CATIA also anticipates each stage of manufacturing. Now CATIA is sold worldwide by Das Alt Systems and is used to manufacture civil aircraft and automobiles everywhere. Everything is designed and simulated by CATIA. The Rifle's secret lies in its 100% virtual design. CATIA software not only allows engineers to design a plane down to the minutest detail, it is also used for the upstream manufacturing, in short, for everything. Everything is designed and simulated by CATIA. Everything is assembled in Das Alt plant in Marignac near Bordeaux. The computer-designed parts made in a dozen other factories in France fit together perfectly. Each plane represents 2 years of labor. A total of 7,000 people work in France on Rifle. 2016 equals 11 planes are fully manufactured and leave the Marignac plant. 1987, Rafale program was launched officially. The French government decided to invest in the plane for next 40 years. In 2004 the French Navy's first Rafales entered service, and in 2006 those of the French Air Force. Rafale is a multi-role fighter. There are planes for aerial superiority, planes for reconnaissance, planes for bombing rates, planes for strategic bombing carrying missiles on nuclear arms. 8 type of planes replaced by just one, that is Rafale. The Rafale is an all-rounder plane, and in future slowly Rafale will replace all the other fighter planes in French military. Empty, the Rafale weighs 11 tons, but it can carry up to 16 tons of bombs and missiles of fuel, 1.5 times its own weight. Rafale is a machine of extraordinary complexity, 25 kilometers of wiring, 30,000 high-precision parts and countless electronic circuits. Rafale can fly up to 20,000 meters of altitude. Its maximum speed is 2,130 kilometers per hour, almost twice the speed of sound. To enable the Rafale to perform in the air supremacy role, it includes several passive sensor systems. The front sector electro-optical system, or optronique secteur frontal, OSF, developed by Thales, is completely integrated within the aircraft and can operate both in the visible and infrared wavelengths. The OSF enables the deployment of infrared missiles such as the Mica at beyond visual range distances. It can also be used for detecting and identifying airborne targets, as well as those on the ground and at sea. Das Alt describes the OSF as being immune to jamming and capable of providing covered long-range surveillance. In 2012, an improved version of the OSF was deployed operationally. The Rafale's glass cockpit was designed around the principle of data fusion. A central computer intelligently selects and prioritizes information to display to pilots for simpler command and control. The primary flight controls are arranged in a hands-on throttle and stick, HOTAS, compatible configuration, with a right-handed side stick controller and a left-handed throttle. The seat is inclined rearwards at an angle of 29 degrees to improve G-force tolerance during maneuvering and to provide a less restricted external pilot view. An intelligent flight suit worn by the pilot is automatically controlled by the aircraft to counteract in response to calculated G-forces. Among the features of the highly digitized cockpit is an integrated direct voice input (DVI) system, allowing a range of aircraft functions to be controlled by spoken voice commands, simplifying the pilot's access to many of the controls. Developed by Crowset, the DVI is capable of managing radio communications and countermeasures systems, the selection of armaments and radar modes, and controlling navigational functions. For safety reasons, DVI is deliberately not employed for safety-critical elements of the aircraft's operation, such as the final release of armaments. The cockpit is fully compatible with night vision goggles, NVG. In the area of life support, the Rafale is fitted with a Martin Baker Mark 16 F00 ejection seat, capable of operation at 0 speed and 0 altitude. An onboard oxygen generating system, developed by Air Liquide, eliminates the need to carry bulky oxygen canisters. The Rafale's flight computer has been programmed to counteract pilot disorientation and to employ automatic recovery of the aircraft during negative flight conditions. The autopilot and auto-throttle controls are also integrated, and are activated by switches located on the primary flight controls. There are three main versions of Rafale. A. The Rafale B, a two-seater for the French Air Force with pilot-navigator. B. The Rafale C, an identical model but a single-seat fighter. C. Rafale M, for French naval aviation ready for use on aircraft carriers. The Rafale M differs from the other two versions by its much heavier landing gear, which includes a tailhook and enables it to land and halt in under 400 meters, something which other competing aircrafts cannot do that. One of the main challenge of the air-to-air mission is to detect the enemy before enemy detects you. For this, Rafale is equipped with three revolutionary technologies. Firstly, a multi-directional radar which is unique. It is located in the nose. It's composed of hundreds of small transit receive modules, the exact number of which is top secret. It can detect up to 40 targets at the same time in a range of over 100 kilometers. These electronic systems, for which only the French and the Americans have the technology, provide a radar that can not only sweep from one horizontal zone to another in an instant but also sweep above and below as well. This happens because small micro sensors which are installed in nose get activated. But when the radar is used, the plane becomes detectable when in combat. One needs stealth. For this, Dassault positioned an undetectable so-called passive sensor just in front of the cockpit, unlike on previous models. Among the various radar sensors on the plane, one of them is very special. The little balls just in front of the cockpit near the nose. It is a kind of optical camera which is extremely precise and allows you to see more clearly targets detected by the radar or by other planes. It's like telescope with a zoom. The third feature specially dedicated to air-to-surface missions is the reconnaissance pod. It's a massive digital camera fitted to the undercarriage. It weighs just over a ton. It can take photos at any speed with the precision of 10 centimeters. Today it is used in all combat theaters of operations. The Rafale core avionics systems employ an integrated modular avionics, IMA, called MDPU, Modular Data Processing Unit. This architecture hosts all the main aircraft functions such as the flight management system, data fusion, fire control, and the man-machine interface. The total value of the radar, electronic communications, and self-protection equipment is about 30% of the cost of the entire aircraft. The Rafale features an integrated defensive aid system named Spectra, which protects the aircraft against airborne and ground threats, developed as a joint venture between Thales and MBDA. Various methods of detection, jamming, and decoying have been incorporated, and the system has been designed to be highly reprogrammable for addressing new threats and incorporating additional subsystems in the future. The Rafale's ground attack capability is heavily reliant upon sensory targeting pods, such as Thales Optronics's RICO new generation /Aerios reconnaissance pod and Damocles electro-optical /laser designation pod. Together, these systems provide targeting information, enable tactical reconnaissance missions, and are integrated with the Rafale's IMA architecture to provide analyzed data feeds to friendly units and ground stations, as well as to the pilot. Damocles provides targeting information to the various armaments carried by the Rafale and is directly integrated with the Rafale's VHF/UHF secure radio to communicate target information with other aircraft. It also performs other key functions such as aerial optical surveillance and is integrated with the navigation system as a FLIR. A new Thales targeting pod, the Talios, was officially unveiled at the 2014 Farnborough Air Show and is expected to be integrated on the Rafale. Thales Aerios reconnaissance pod is an all-weather, night and day capable reconnaissance system employed on the Rafale, and provides a significantly improved reconnaissance capability over preceding platforms. Aerios has been designed to perform reconnaissance under various mission profiles and condition, using multiple day/night sensors and its own independent communications data links. Another key onboard technology, Spectra, an integrative defensive aid system. It is composed of this large module at the rear of plane, which is connected to sensors placed all around the fuselage. Spectra can jam enemy radars and give a missile approach warning. Spectra creates a kind of protective shield around the plane. It can send decoy signals, jam, and counter-jam radar signals so that enemy sensors are incapable of detecting the Rafale plane. If in spite of jamming an enemy missile gets close to Rafale, Spectra can send out a decoy, an electromagnetic pulse from the rear of the plane which deroutes enemy missiles. Rafale. Below are the names of most important 7 weapons which Rafale carries with it. The Mika air-to-air missile. It can be fired 50 kilometers from its target and self-correct its trajectory. The Mika air-to-air beyond visual range, BVR, interception, combat, and self-defense missiles, in their IR, heat-seeking, and M, active radar homing, versions. The Mika can be used within visual range, WVR, and beyond visual range, BVR. The Hammer, standing for highly agile and maneuverable munition, extended range, modular, rocket-boosted air-to-ground precision-guided weapon series, fitted with in/GPS or in/GPS/IIR, imaging infrared, guidance kits, or with the upcoming in/GPS/laser guidance kit. The Meteor air-to-air missile. It will offer multi-shot capability from a distance of 100 kilometers. The Scalp long-range standoff missile. Twin-engine Rafale could be armed with Storm Shadow missiles that can fly for more than 250 miles. This means Rafale could strike without having to fly near target and avoid anti-aircraft defenses. Laser of GPS-guided bombs. These are used against terrorist, raid on terrorist. The Rafale can carry up to 6. 4 laser-guided bombs. The Rafale is fitted with laser pod which sets targets in his sights 10 kilometers away and this huge Storm Shadow. It is an air-launched long-range fire and forget cruise missile. The pilot simply fires the missile and it goes straight to the target and hits it. The Rafale also carries a Jet 30 revolver cannon on its undercarriage. It has 30mm shells fired at 2,500 rounds per minute with a muzzle velocity of 1,055 meters per second. It's very effective and it is used both in air-to-air combat and air-to-surface operations. Naval Rafale, the AM-39 Exocet anti-ship missile. Exocet, a huge missile fitted with its own rocket motor. Its explosive charge can sink a ship from over 70 kilometers away. The Rafale can carry all above weapons at the same time. It can switch from an aerial defense mission to an air-to-surface mission at the push of a button, and this is due to the extremely flexible armament system. Whatever may be the requirement or mission, Rafale can carry out that mission. It's an all-rounder multi-role fighter plane. Rafale can carry very long-range missions. In-flight refueling, with a small probe located just in front of the cockpit, the pilot can link up with a tank or aircraft and fill up the Rafale's fuel tanks. Rafale can hold up to 5.5 tons of fuel, but it can carry over 7 tons of backup fuel in its 2,000-liter external tanks or in 1,200-liter tanks so as to attain supersonic speeds. It can consume over 5 tons of fuel in just 10 minutes. Nuclear deterrence, the Rafale can carry nuclear weapons. Rafale's engines can be changed in just 1 hour. With its 10-ton empty weight, the Rafale is fitted with 14 hard points, 13 on the Rafale M. 5 of them are capable of drop tanks and heavy ordnance. Total external load capacity is more than 9 tons, 20,000 pounds. Buddy-buddy refueling missions can be carried out in portions of the airspace out of reach of dedicated and vulnerable tanker aircraft. With its outstanding load-carrying capability and its advanced mission system, the Rafale can carry out both air-to-ground strikes, as well as air-to-air attacks and interceptions during the same sortie. It is capable of performing several actions at the same time, such as firing air-to-air missiles during a very low-altitude penetration phase, a clear demonstration of the true omni-role capability and outstanding survivability of the Rafale. In short armament. Guns, 1 x 30 mm, 1.18 in, GIAT 30/M791 autocannon with 125 rounds. Hardpoints, 14 for Air Force versions, Rafale B/C, 13 for Navy version, Rafale M, with a capacity of 9,500 kilograms 20,900 pounds external fuel and ordnance and provisions to carry combinations of missiles. Air-to-air. Magic 2. MBDA Mica IR or M. MBDA Meteor in the future. Air-to-ground. MBDA Apache. MBDA Storm Shadow/Scalp EG. AASM Hammer, SBU 38/54/64. GBU 12 Paveway 2, GBU 22 Paveway 3, GBU 24 Paveway 3, GBU 49 Enhanced Paveway 2. AS-30L. Air-to-surface. MBDA AM-39 Exocet Anti-Ship Missile. Nuclear Deterrence, ASMPA Nuclear Missile. Other. Thales Damocles Targeting Pod. Thales Arios, Airborne Recce Observation System, Reconnaissance Pod. Thales Talios Multifunction Targeting Pod, F3R Standard. Up to 5 drop tanks. Buddy-buddy Refueling Pod. Avionics. Thales RBE-2AAESA Radar. Thales Spectra Electronic Warfare System. Thales/Sagem OSF Optronique Secteur Frontal Infrared Search and Track, IRST, System. Reality Views by SM.